president, Ike for president, Ike for president, Ike for president. You like Ike, I like Ike, everybody likes Ike for president. Hang out the banner, beat the drum, we'll take Ike to Washington. We don't want John
or Dean
or Harry, let's do that big job right. Let's get in step with the guy that's left, get in step with Ike. You like Ike, I like Ike, everybody likes Ike for president. Hang out the banner, beat the drum, we'll take Ike to Washington. We got to guess where we are going, travel day and night for president. Let Adelaide go the other way, we'll all go with Ike. You like Ike, I like Ike, everybody likes Ike for president. Hang out the banner, beat the drum, we'll take Ike to Washington. We'll take Ike to Washington.
Now is the time for all good Americans to come to the aid of their country. Vote for Eisenhower.
America liked Dwight Eisenhower so much they elected him twice. Both the Democrats and Republicans tried to recruit him as their candidate in 1952. The hero of World War II couldn't lose, and everyone knew it. At the end of the day, Eisenhower ran as a Republican. He felt the Republican Party represented his values more. Most importantly, he knew the Democrats were cooked. Democrats had occupied the White House since 1933. That's when the U.S. was in the depths of the Great Depression. They elected the Democrat FDR to lead them out of it. That he did, and he was rewarded by winning 3 more terms after that. After FDR's death in 1945, Vice President Harry Truman took his place, and then won a term of his own in 1948 in one of the most storied elections in American history. By the time his term was up, the United States was in a very different place. After 20 years of Democratic presidents, not only was the Depression over, but the United States was the world's preeminent military and economic power. After a performance like this, how could the Democrats be cooked? The short answer is the Cold War. By the end of Truman's second term, it wasn't clear that the United States was destined to be the preeminent power much longer. China went red in 1949, and the Soviet Union went nuclear in 1950. We learned they were helped along by Soviet spies who had infiltrated our atomic bomb project. If there were spies there, where else could they be? According to Wisconsin Senator Joseph McCarthy, everywhere. The State Department, the White House, even the military. McCarthy used the media, including the brand new medium of television, to gin up fears of communist infiltration. Most of his accusations were baseless, a way to destroy his political enemies, particularly in the Democratic Party. It kinda made sense. The Democrats had been in control for most of the past 20 years. If there was communist infiltration of the government, and most of that government was staffed by Democrats, then it would stand to reason that the Democrats were the ones being infiltrated. Maybe they were secret communists. At the very least, they were allowing the infiltration to happen. But it also didn't make sense. When the communist state of North Korea attacked South Korea in 1950, it was a Democratic president, Harry Truman, who led the nation into war against them. Why would a Democratic Party infiltrated by communists wage a war against a communist country? McCarthy was a great showman. His ability to draw attention to the phantom of communism, to gin up fears out of whole cloth, obfuscated the fact that his accusations made no sense and had no proof. It heralded a new age in American politics, one where spectacle trumped truth. I used the term Trump on purpose. McCarthy was aided in his crusade by the lawyer Roy Cohn. Cohn understood that just accusing someone of being a communist put them on their heels. The more someone tried to explain that they had no ties with communism, the more it looked like they were hiding something. The truth of the accusation doesn't matter at that point. It's no surprise that Roy Cohn also represented Donald Trump during his rise to power in New York during the 1970s. No president in modern history uses the media to his advantage better than Trump. No politician is as effective as blurring the lines between lies and truth to the point where both nothing and everything is true at the same time. The roots of Trump's style of politics lie in the work Roy Cohn and Joseph McCarthy did during the 1950s. Some people in McCarthy's day were quick to use this new style of politics. One was a young up-and-comer from California, the Republican Richard Nixon. In 1950, Nixon ran for Senate against the Democrat Helen Gahagan Douglas, a former actress who had already served in the House of Representatives. Douglas was qualified for the Senate, But that didn't matter in this new age of politics. Nixon called Douglas a fellow traveler of the Communist Party. He said her voting record in Congress reflected communist sympathies. Most damaging of all, Nixon claimed that Douglas was pink down to her underwear. Calling someone pink, or a pinko, was a shorthand way of referring to them as a communist. Nixon supporters carried signs with pink panties, a reference to her alleged communism and the fact that she was a woman. Douglas countered with a nickname for Nixon that would stick with him for the rest of his life: Tricky Dick. Nixon's vicious attacks on Douglas helped him win the Senate election. He gained a reputation as a fierce anti-communist and red baiter, which is someone who accuses his opponents of communist sympathies. Nixon's success may have even inspired Joseph McCarthy's own anti-communist crusade. It definitely inspired Eisenhower to choose him as his vice presidential running mate in 1952. The ticket of Eisenhower and Nixon handily won the election. The Democrats may have led the United States to the heights of world hegemony, but they also lost China and couldn't prevent the Soviets from going nuclear. They couldn't stop North Korea from attacking South Korea and, when they did get involved, got mired in a vicious war with no end in sight. Americans hoped that Eisenhower would be able to restore American prestige. Above all, they hoped the former World War II general could put an end to the Korean War and bring American troops home. These were the reasons why Eisenhower and Nixon won the election of 1952.